So yeah, let me introduce myself. So my name is Vishwa. So I have having around 15 years of experience in the IT industry, and I'm mainly looking into the Azure data side, working as a senior solution architect in the data side. And in Azure, I'm working from past 9 years, and in Data Factory also I'm working from past 7 years. So yeah, that's all about me. So now coming to the topics. So here we are connecting. The reason is we can go through a demo session on Azure Data Factory. So before starting, just I wanted to give you a heads up, like why Data Factory comes into picture and what Data Factory actually doing. So once everything is moving into cloud, at that time we need a orchestration or ETL tool that can extract data, that can do little bit data transformation, and that can push the data to other like target. But everything should be done over the cloud. So that is the main reason Data Factory come into picture. So it's nothing but the um, ETL tool, or moreover you can say it's a ETL orchestration tool over cloud. So earlier what happened, we use SSIS, Cognos, other ETL, let's say Informatica, then say ODI for data extraction, transformations, and loading. But all those are on-prem, so you have to install those system in your install those softwares in your system. Then you can connect and then you can work. But here, nothing you know to install in your system. And and second thing is like that. While you were handling with the others like softwares like SIS, Informatica, then like ODI, then you have to take care the underlying security, underlying software update, underlying patches, all those things. But here, everything has been taken care by Azure, and you have to just go through the link. You just open the link, you can access your ETL orchestration and transformation tool as your Data Factory. So that is the main reason Data Factory comes into picture. So you don't need to bother about the underlying hardware. You don't need to bother about the patches update. Okay, any software installation, just wherever you can access is through a just terminal or portal through the link. So that is the main reason Data Factory comes into picture, and it is becoming more popular. So any queries, guys? Hello. If anyone has any query, any point, please ask me, or let me stop and ask. And if you guys can little bit responsive, then it will be more interactive and more interesting.
No, you can carry on. No problem.
You can carry on. I'm good at.
Okay. Okay. Now, I will go through the path how we can access the data factory. So I have just told you about the basic concept of data factory, why Azure Data Factory is used, and why that is coming to picture, and why it is becoming more popular. Okay. Now, yeah, how we can access the data factory. So you can see this is my Azure portal, right? So that if you can open portal.azure, you will see like that. Okay. And here, if you can search Azure Data Factory. Yeah, you can see this data factory. This is the sign. Okay. So these are the list of data factory already I have. in my plate, so I can like, or you can create a new data factory. So in demo I'm not creating any resources, I am just going with the existing one. Okay, so we can create one data factory here. So it's just a, like, yeah, you can create, it will take like 5 minutes to create your like create or like to make ready your cloud ETL orchestration tool, and you can start working. So if you can create, it will ask for several options. Okay, so yeah, subscription, then resource group, then zone, means region, those things you need to put, and it will create a data factory. Okay, once the data factory would be created, then let's say it looks like that. So once you can open this data factory, it looks like that. So there are several options here. We will go one by one. So instead of going all those things, like, yeah, so just giving a basic heads up. Here you can check the activity log. Here you can control the access of the data factory. Okay, we can give the tag to the data factory. If there is any issue, we can diagnose problem here. Okay, and these are for the network settings. Then we can setting alerts here. Different metric we can generate from here. Okay, we can see the log here, and like diagnostic setting also we can do here for any specific operations, any specific cases. Okay, so those are the basic tabs, but our main concern would be in overview. There are two sections. Okay, so this is Data Factory Studio. As a Data Factory Studio, where we can do all the RTL configurations or orchestrations. Okay, so if I can click here, so after creating, you can see the screen like that. Yeah. So once we will open the data factory, it looks like that. And this is only the name. You can give whatever you want. This is the name of the data factory. Okay. Now in data factory, so you can see several of ingest data, orchestras, transform data. So yeah, for the timing, leave those things. I will go one by one. So yeah, so where we can do the orchestrations in the author system. This section we can do the orchestrations. Okay, and where we can create the pipeline, this is the section where we can create the pipeline. Yeah, let's say I'm showing you one pipeline. This is one pipeline, so you can do different activity over pipeline. Okay, so in the this is the pipeline, that is mainly the orchestration. So you can create the pipeline in one go also, like your transformation logic. If you wanted to build, you can here, you can just create a new pipeline. It will take 1 or 2 minutes to create the pipeline maximum. Then you can build your own transformation logic here. And in each pipeline you can see the list of activities. So those activities are mainly used while we are building the pipeline. So the copy activity for copying data flow activity for some data manipulation. Excuse me. So different activities are there. So based on our requirement, we can use. You can see, you can search here the activity, like for each loop is there, that is loop for each loop. Then you can see if activity, if condition activity is there. There are metadata activity, like how we will get the data about data. Okay, so the information, let's say you got some file, you need information of that file. that. So different kind of activities are there. You can connect to Databricks notebook from here. Okay. And like, yeah, you can generate some Power Query here. You can connect to machine learning. You can connect to log analytics like HD Insight from here. So these are the activity. We can use those activity for our data transformations. So that is the main section where we will mainly focus on, where we can build our data factory, where we can implement our data factory, and let's say we can do implement our logic. I will share all the documents how we can proceed like step by step. Okay, once we start it. So yeah, that is the main screen where we have to look into, and you can see this. This is nothing but the connection with the Git repository, and this connection mainly done over the setting section, manage section. So what this is? This is mainly you can say connection setting system. So there are few parts here. One is link service, one is integration runtime, one is Azure preview. So what those things? So just giving you an idea, link service. What is link service? So Data Factory is a resource present in Azure cloud. Any resources, whether it is in Azure cloud or it is on premises, to to build up a connection, we have to create a link service. That means whenever we wanted to connect Data Factory through any resources, whether it is on-prem or whether it is in Azure, whether it is AWS, we have to create a link service. So that is the link service. Okay. Integration runtime. What if any resources are in on-prem, not in cloud? Okay, then we have to use integration runtime, self-hosted. And if it is cloud, then we have to use auto-resolve integration runtime. Actually, integration runtime creates the environment to connect, to build the connection with the Azure with the help of link service. So we have to use the integration runtime. So understand, right? It will, let's say we wanted to connect our Azure Data Factory with let's say a SQL server present in on-prem. So if how this link service work, we have created a link service, but to work this link service, we need an environment on the on-prem server, right? Based on that environment, link service will activate and connect with Azure. So integration runtime is creating this environment on that resources on means to which Azure Data Factory wants to connect. If it is on-prem, then we can use self-hosted integration runtime. It is Azure or any other cloud, then we can use auto-resolving integration runtime. And now this Git configuration. What is this Git configuration? Git configuration is nothing but we are configuring our data factory in the Azure DevOps for CI/CD, continuous integration, continuous deployment. Okay, this is for the version controlling of code or automatic
I have one
automation
question.
deployment.
Which one? I
Yeah,
have one
go ahead.
question.
Go ahead.
Like,
Yeah, go ahead.
what is the difference between like in normal Azure DevOps pipeline and this ADF pipeline, Azure Data Factory pipeline? What is the difference?
No, there is no difference. Okay, so normal pipeline means what pipeline you are asking?
Azure DevOps pipeline, like Git, Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes, like we are
Yeah,
making pipeline,
right,
release pipeline.
right. Yeah, no difference. All those things will do the same thing, but the approaches and the technology and the skills we are using are different. That's all. Both
So
all
can we
all
take,
all.
can I take
Mhm.
that pipeline only to use here? Is it possible? So whatever the
No,
Azure
which
DevOps pipeline is, right? Can I take the pipeline and your continuation is, can I use this? Is it possible here?
means this one, right? You are
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
correct.
of course, of course. That is the reason. It is integrating with the Azure DevOps for you can see for CI/CD based practices.
No, only CI/CD is integrating, or like any, suppose any containerization I need to do deploy
No,
in
no,
front
no,
of.
no, 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 no containerization you need to do because Azure DevOps having its own repository. So it's automatically connect with the Git configuration. So if you can say containerization, so Git will take care of the code. So Git will be there. It is already aligned with Azure DevOps. If you can open Azure DevOps portal, okay. So Git is automatically aligned with there. So we can configure our like Git repository here only. Automatically,
Okay.
this Git repository will be created in the DevOps.
Okay. And like suppose if I want to deploy Azure Data Factory releases, is there any
Mhm.
external tool you are using for ADF Azure Data Factory purpose?
No, only Azure DevOps portal is enough. No other tool is
No,
needed.
in a way, like Jenkins or
No,
like
no, no,
SonarCube, kind of any external tools, kind of.
no. It's not needed. But yeah, if
Okay,
any organization is having any specific requirement, then DevOps engineer will do that. But yeah, you can easily do the same thing only through the Azure DevOps. If you
okay,
configure it
okay,
once you can connect with this and configure, it will automatically create a Git repository. Okay, this repository is Azure DevOps Git. You can see
okay,
repository type. Okay,
okay,
and the like account name would be this, project name would be this, repository name would be this. This will create within this like linked account of the Azure DevOps Git. Okay, and then yeah, on the Azure DevOps, you can just easily build CI/CD pipeline without helping them any tools.
okay. Means whatever the Azure DevOps built in a repository, it will replicate here, and we can use this.
Right, right. Once like yeah, so your this account should be connected with the Azure DevOps, right? If you can log in the Azure DevOps with the same account, okay. Just let me show you. Let me show how it looks like. It would be more clear to you. Yeah, keep
Okay,
questioning. Then it would be more interesting and interesting. Whatever comes. So today I'm just giving you the basic idea. So it's Azure DevOps portal, okay?
okay,
And yeah, I can show you. So it's my Git repository and an collaboration budget master but you can say, and the data factory name RHCBIDV now. And yeah, uh, repository name RHCADF, you can see, right?
yeah,
Okay, okay. Now go to repository. There are multiple repository you can keep in your data factory. So if I can search repository RHCADF, once you can configure this Git here in data factory, it will automatically create a repository with this name in the Azure DevOps. Got it? And this is your master branch. You can see your all code would be there. You can see ADF publish branch as well. That is ADF publish branch where we are doing your changes. Maybe that will be difficult for you to understand what I'm trying to say, but yeah, you will get to know all those things. So you can see publish branch, right? ADF publish branch is there, and this is the repository actually. And how we are doing integration. So you can see the pipe. Here is the pipelines. You can see. Okay, there are two. One is this is like CI pipeline, and for CD pipeline you can see this release. Okay, these are the CD pipeline.
okay,
Understand, right? So here only you can create release and you can deploy in the higher environment. That's all. Different like based on Dave, we can create the based on Dave's artifact we can create, and then we can deploy UAT. Then you can deploy production. So it's a little bit clear now, right?
yeah. Okay,
Okay, got it. So yeah, this is a section. Then we can like yeah assign some kind of trigger here with some name trigger. We can create some trigger and we can align those trigger into the data factory. Let's say we wanted to schedule the data factory that should be done in a particular time. We can add trigger. We're creating a new trigger. Okay, so this is the section where like this connectivity and all taken care.
predefined pipeline here, Ashok. Is it a
So,
predefined pipelines all in ADF? Is it all the pipelines should be predefined?
no. Actually, I have created those things for my personal uses.
Okay, okay,
No, nothing would be predefined. If you can open the Azure portal, you can see it's blank.
okay,
Those are
okay.
like
So like if something so many pipelines, I think is it predefined or we need to.
no, nothing
Yeah.
would be predefined. So these are those things I have created from my businesses only.
Okay, okay.
Okay. And like yeah, so this author tab I told you, this manage tab I told you, and okay, yeah, there more one thing like data sets. What is data set? Data set is nothing but the structure of the data. Let's say we wanted to copy a table from SQL Server. So we have to define the data structure of this table in this data set. Okay, how the data look means how the table structure would be from source and the in source as well as the target. So those are the data sets. Okay, now I told you regarding the deployment. I told you basic knowledge on this, like how this data factory workings and all activities, and also like managed services, starting from link service, integration runtime, then git configuration, then trigger. Now coming to the monitor section. So in monitor section, we can see the list of pipelines that runs if there is any failures, and we can restart what kind of pipeline we need to restart and all. And like yeah, we can set the alert here for a particular pipeline is wanted to send mail or any kind of alert after the completion of the pipeline. We can do from here. So yeah, those are the basic idea of the DevOps. I means as a data factory. So what data factory doing, what kind of activity? It means there are multiple types of activities. So once you can start with one data factory, then you can know one by one gradually, no problem. But yeah, this is the whole concept of Azure Data Factory. What are the things we can do in Azure Data Factory? And like yeah, so in any queries, guys?
And Databricks we will go. Databricks. What is the Databricks?
Yeah, Databricks is nothing but to create the connectivity with from the data factory. Okay. So let's say in Databricks you have multiple notebooks. If you can pull this, let's say you can create a connectivity with the Databricks only. So link service is nothing but you have to create a link service that will connect to the Databricks. Then on this link service, whatever the Databricks notebook available, you can see here. You can connect with the notebook. So let's say
What
you
is
have
the purpose? What is the related with Data Factory with Databricks?
okay. So let's say you have some logic you have written in notebook in Databricks. Okay, you have some transformation logic you wrote in, let's say, SQL language in notebook in Databricks. Okay, now in between in your data factory, you have to implement that logic. So it's not like you can stop data factory and go to Databricks notebook and you can execute then come back to data factory and execute that, right? So that will prevent your automation. Here only you can create this notebook and you can just call this notebook here, and you schedule this pipeline. So where it is needed, step by step we can connect like that. Okay, like that we can connect where it is needed. Then it will execute automatically on that point. You no need to worry about it.
It's kind of library to support the main data pipeline.
No, no, it's not library. Data factory, as you're given some predefined activities through which we can connect multiples Azure services as well. Mostly of the data services. Okay. So if you're working as a data factory, sometimes it's need to build some logic in the Azure database. But you have to orchestrate the entire process in automate way, right? From data factory. So to do that automation, they have given that provision to you can use notebook here. You can write your logic in Databricks, do the testing, and call that notebook in the data factory where you need it. That will work automatically.
Okay, got it.
Got it right? Yeah. So yeah. So these are the things. In any other queries, guys, you can ask. Feel free, no problem.
Like what kind of DB we are integrated with here? Like any
Sorry,
SQL
sorry,
DB
sorry, sorry.
database integration here.
Yeah, almost all kind of database you can integrate here. For database integration, okay. So you have to first create a link service. Okay, if you can create a link service first with that database, first you have to create a link service. Let's say if I can show you the one link service. Yeah, that is SQL Server on-prem. Okay, we are linking one of our SQL Server. Okay, through this data factory. So that will this link service will create the connectivity. Before link service, we have to use install a integration runtime. Okay, so once we have created the links, first integration runtime, then link service, then on top of the table, what table you wanted to copy, you have to create a data set. Okay, these are the different data sets. So you have to create data set. Once you have created the data set, then you can use whatever activity you needed to, like, mm, copy the data or whatever you want from the data set. That's all. Let me show you. No, no direct copy activity here. Got it?
Yeah, got it. But
Mm.
implementation part in the future we can check.
Yeah, of course, of course. Yeah, means one day, like, starting from this is a copy activity. So in source, let's say I'm selecting a data set only. Just I'm selecting a data set only. Okay, this data set, a different data set. So here we can use a data set. Just 1 second, guys. Yeah, sorry. So let's say you wanted to copying data from, like, any database. Okay. So we can use this copy activity in source. We can use the data set. What is data set? So data set is nothing but I told you it's based on the link service, and link service is based on the integration runtime. So let me show you.
Means you mean to say that, like, suppose I want to copy from MySQL to Postgres, it will copy. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Anywhere to anywhere we can create the link service. Okay. For that, it would be good to show you one. So here you can see multiple options. Okay, here you can see multiple options. Those are the database. If you wanted to, let's say SQL, you can see multiple SQLs, PostgreSQL, Azure SQL, SQL Server. So this may be a SQL Server. Okay. So yeah, there are multiple options that with those kind of databases you can create like link services. Getting my point? So there are
Yeah, I got it.
Amazon RD. So there are lots of databases that we can connect from here.
Yeah, yeah. Like, suppose I want to entire, like, database I want to import, means like from MySQL to Azure or MongoDB or MariaDB or like Cassandra
Yeah,
something. So it will
yeah,
entire. It will whatever the, like, database structures, and it will, because
yeah. So
one.
first, right, first you create the link service with the database so that as a data factory will link that. Now, whatever table or whatever the data you wanted to connect, you have to create a data set on top of that. And here we are connecting the data set only. That data set, which data set you wanted to copy, we can connecting in the copy activity that data set.
Okay,
Understand? So how this linked? Based on link
okay,
service, we
okay,
can create a data set, and yeah, we are connecting. We are defining this data set here. Which one you wanted to connect in the source section. Then in sync, we can define whatever the sync should be.
okay, okay.
The
Got it,
target.
got it. Okay,
Got it
okay.
right?
Means like whatever the link you are sharing and whatever the link syncing data, that data only it will sync to that endpoint database, right?
Correct, correct.
Okay, okay.
Oh, someone is asking, may I know the difference between Azure DevOps and Azure Data Factory? Right, Amuru?
Yeah.
Okay. So Azure Data Factory is orchestration ETL tool. And Azure DevOps, you can say that we can use to version controlling, code management, then continuous integration of the code to higher environment and continuous deployment of the code to higher environment. It's DevOps actually. Got it?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Any
Sure.
yeah, go
Sure.
ahead.
I have one no question. Is like what kind of project we are using in Data Factory? What kind of project like what is the data like means like how much data should be there if using the Data Factory? Like a kind of ETL process. Like what kind of project we are using basically?
Yeah, so let's say your entire ETL process in now in on-prem. Okay, you wanted to migrate the entire process in cloud. And in your on-prem, let's say you are using SSIS for the data transformation and orchestrations. Here you can use a data factory for orchestrations and transformation instead of SSIS. You can replace that. You are using, let's say, some Informatica. You can replace that with data factory. And then you can, let's say, using ODI. You can replace that with data factory. The main advantage it is over cloud, and the underlying hardware and the infrastructure you don't need to take care. Anybody can access wherever you are. It's not depend upon your system. Got it?
Yeah, got it.
Yeah. Any more queries, guys?
Azure Data Factory and Snowflake are competitive ones.
Yeah, someone asking like data factory and Snowflake are competitor like that. What the query is actually? It's not clear to me.
Hi, it's me, Kader. So Azure Data Factory is like a ETL tool, right?
Mm-hmm.
So and it is replacement for any traditional ones like Informatica or any ETL tool, SSIS. So I
Right.
heard even Snowflake is also popular. So how we can correlate like Snowflake and Azure Data Factory?
Snowflake, yeah. Why Snowflake is popular? Snowflake is similar like it's a cloud data warehouse.
Okay.
Okay, so let's say you are using any SQL server or anything that is on-prem data warehouse. Let's say, okay,
Okay.
but but Snowflake is also a cloud data warehouse where we can access your database through a link only. The similar approach.
Okay.
That is the only reason it's
Similar.
getting popular.
Okay.
Okay, and it is more compatible with Azure.
Who is the owner
Okay.
of that Snowflake? Vishwa?
I'm not sure.
Okay, because ADF we can check like Azure is there, but for Snowflake,
No,
anybody knows?
no. Is ADF owner is Microsoft.
Yeah, yeah.
Snowflake
Azure, okay.
Snowflake itself,
Microsoft.
yeah, yeah, Snowflake itself a organization,
Oh, is it? Okay, okay.
right? Snowflake, it's their own product actually.
Is there any competitive with ADF like here, here only, like Synapses, Azure Synapses is there, right? Is it a competitor with Azure Data Factory?
Yeah, of course. You can use Synopsys as well as your target. You can use Azure Snowflake. You can use Azure SQL. So based on your business requirement, that can be defined. Pricing, business requirement. So there are multiple metrics while you are doing the architecturing of the like system. So based on those metrics, you can define what database you can go ahead.
Okay, okay, okay. Got it.
Okay. So yeah, I think for today we are good with the initial demo. So yeah, guys, let's see.
Yeah, sure, sure. Thank you so much for the information. We can continue with the next.
Okay. So yeah,
Okay then.
can it?
Yeah, tell
Okay.
me.
Yeah, then we can wrap it up, right?
Yeah, yeah, sure. And one
Okay.
more thing, lastly, I need to ask the last question.
Mhm.
Is there any real-time data we are using here? Like just dummy kind of like 100,
Of course,
250 data, and we are just
of course.
manipulating the ETL kind of
No, no,
things.
no. You can also use, yeah, without real time. How it's helpful. You can do
Mhm, mhm.
historical load here as well as real time. That is the reason Tiger is there. Why ticket is come into picture? Because you wanted to run your pipeline. You know your real-time data comes at, let's say, 10 p.m. So you
Yeah,
wanted to
correct.
trigger your pipeline at 10:30. So you can schedule the trigger at 10:30. So it's automation. Again, the
Okay,
automation also come into picture. So of course, real life, we are handling with real life data.
okay, then it will be great. That will be great.
Right. That means that is daily incremental load. What the traditional terms we say in the data warehouse, daily incremental load.
Okay,
Okay,
you mean
okay,
batch processing?
Yeah, batch processing also there. Batch is something
Okay.
different, and daily incremental load is
Oh,
something different. Daily incremental
okay.
load, say in your transaction system, there may be some changes in your existing data, and there may be some new data comes into picture. Let's say you are handling some customer data. So daily basis you may get some new customer, as well as there may be some update on the old customer. Okay, so
Correct.
these are the daily incremental. So while, let's say, you have 1 million customer, and today 100 customer added and 100 customer data has been updated. So daily incremental means we can insert 100 new customer today, and we can update 100 updated customer today, not we can fetch the entire data. Why we can fetch the
Okay.
entire data when we will, like, use the time of
Correct.
data consumptions and executions? So that is the daily incremental. Batch is something different.
Okay.
Batch is like, you're processing data in bulk.
Okay.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay, Vishal. Like we got the good information. We can
Okay.
continue.
Maybe
Yeah.
it might be a too advanced question. So Azure Data Engineering certification might be enough for this to cover, if at all certification we need to go.
Yeah, like, earlier it was DP 200, 201 and 202. Not 200, I think 201 and 202, or DP 200. No, I think DP 200 and DP 201. Now it's DP
Okay.
203, I think. Only one certifications. But yeah, let's go at the
Okay.
course. But yeah, DP
Okay.
200, or it's not only on the Azure Data Factory. It's involved entire data side, starting from Azure Data Factory, Azure Synopsys, Databricks, everything would be there. It's not only focusing on the Data Factory. But yeah,
Okay.
I will let you know. I will give, like, I have some things on that, so that you can proceed with the data, means certifications.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. That's all from my end. So yeah, let's see. Hope for the best.